Those chords sound really good, right? They're so rich and thick and big and juicy sounding. But you can make these complex chords a lot simpler. I'm going to take you step by step and show you how. By the end of the video, point you in the direction of how to build them back up again in a special way so you can get more complex sounds by using as little notes as possible. So something like A7 flat 9 sharp 5 or A13 sharp 9 sharp 11 can be really confusing if you don't know how to decipher the chord symbols. Now, please don't feel inadequate if you don't know these big, expensive chords like the ones that I mentioned. If you stick around to the end, you will. You might see a chord something like this. A major 13, sharp 11, written in a fake book, a lead sheet, or some kind of chart. You might be saying, "Hey Adam, I don't know what all this accoutrement is written after the letter A." Well, I'm hoping you'll understand in just a couple of minutes. Let's start simplifying it by taking notes out. Let's remove this B, the ninth of the chord, off the first string. Technically, we now have an A major 7, 13 sharp 11. Since there's no ninth, we can't call it A major 13. According to the theory police, we have to call it A major 7 with an added 13 and a sharp 11. So let's remove the note on the second string, the 13th. Now we have to call it A major 7 sharp 11, or if you want to call it A major 7 flat 5, that's valid because D sharp is equivalent to an E flat and E is the fifth, so therefore E flat is the flat 5. Now let's take out that sharp 11 flat 5, and then without all that fluff in there, we're now left with 3 notes. So does this look familiar? This is what we call a shell voicing, sometimes referred to as a skeletal voicing. It can take on a few different structures, but most commonly a root, a third, and a seventh. If you see A major 13 sharp 11, extract the root, the third, and the seventh from the chord and just play those 3 notes. If you write out an A major scale, we can quickly determine what those notes are. A, C sharp, and G sharp. And that's how we end up with this shell chord shape. We went from this to this. Notice it has the same basic inherent sound, but just less colorful, more bare bones, right? Here's the same chord progression, now with shell voicings. Notice that some of the chords have the fifth of the chord as the lowest note. That's absolutely fine. You don't have to have the root in the bottom every time. Not only does it lighten things up a little when you're playing with a bass player, but it's nice to maintain the same string grouping for less potential mistakes. Now, it really helps if you understand the notes that make up any given chord. I've released 2 really good tutorials on this very topic, but you also need to be able to find those notes on your fretboard. I've got a video to help you with that too. I'll leave the links to all 3 important lessons below. We're not done yet. Did you know that you can reduce it down even more? If shell voicings are the pared down versions of the chords, the skeleton as it were, then the third and the seventh are literally the spine of the skeleton structure. You can boil down the essence of any chord by just playing the 3rd and the 7th. Here's the same chord progression from the beginning of the video, but only using the 3rd and 7th this time for each chord. Since you enjoyed this video, I put together a playlist that will really open your eyes up when it comes to jazz chords. Like how to create the ultimate chords that will make your fellow guitarists jealous. Insider secrets of the pros, learn all about drop chords, and then steal tricks from piano players. Like Bill Evans, for example. Like how to get that Bill Evans sound on guitar. Then learning about how Lenny Breau, the absolute master of chords, created his beautiful sounds. When you click on the playlist, I'll meet you inside because I'm really excited to share this fascinating stuff about chords that I've learned over the years. You're absolutely gonna dig it. You are going to dig it. You're gonna dig it, man. You're so gonna dig it. I know you are. You're gonna dig it so much. You're gonna have a chordgasm.